From our New York studios, let's go inside her story with Jackie Reed. Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Tom, Sybil, and Jay. Listen, you guys, for many women, divorce can not only leave you with a broken heart, but some serious credit problems due to your ex doing things like not paying his bills post-divorce. I met a woman who told me it took her more than 7 years to fix her credit after her divorce. But there are ways to protect yourself. I'm going inside her story with credit repair specialist Paul Oster, who is the CEO of Better Qualify. Good morning, Paul. Listen, now I would think it's during the marriage that a spouse can do the most damage to your credit, depending on what accounts you share. But don't you and your credit reports kind of go separate ways after the divorce? I mean, how can an ex still do damage after the divorce papers are signed?
Unfortunately, if a couple gets to the point where they're actually getting a divorce, both spouses, and oftentimes the woman for sure, needs to realize that a divorce decree does not supersede the original creditor agreement. Probably the most important thing that folks are going to take away from today's show. What that means is if a judge orders a spouse to pay all of the credit card bills and their joint accounts, and let's say there's $100,000 worth of debt in those credit card bills, and the woman says, okay, well, if he's going to pay that, and that offsets some of the other monies in the marital settlement agreement, she doesn't take as much from a savings account or a 401k because he's responsible for $100,000. If he does not pay, she is ultimately responsible in the eyes of the creditor. And it's an amazing thing. They don't care what the judge says. If you have joint accounts, it is imperative that they get closed immediately, they get separated, and they get paid. You cannot take his word for it. Obviously, if you're going through a divorce, there were problems already. We see the damage every single day, and I listen to women pouring their hearts out, but the judge said. And it's an amazing thing to me that more people do not realize that.
Now, is it mostly women that you hear from in these types of situations? Because a lot of women still let their husbands handle the finances and really don't get involved in that. Do you still see that happening?
Very large percentage of our clients have come through a divorce, and oftentimes it's the woman who suffers more. Maybe she only has the joint accounts with her husband, and her husband may have other individual accounts. And once the divorce goes through and those accounts get closed or they go into default, now it's a tremendous undertaking to try and reestablish the credit, settle the debt, and move forward in her individual credit life.
This may sound crazy, but what happens to the credit if the couple decides to get back together?
Then they would both be responsible at that point in time.
It won't get any better.
No. It doesn't. It doesn't have any effect. The marital status has no effect on credit, other than the fact that you may have joint accounts, together. So I speak all the time in front of groups, and I just tell them, congratulations, you're moving forward. You're going to get married, but you don't have to be married with credit. You can get the same credit cards, just get individual accounts, and you can pay those accounts out of a joint bank account. It's much easier to separate a bank account than it is credit card account.
Paul, where can we get more of your tips on all types of credit issues? What's your website?
It's betterqualified.com.
Paul, thank you so much.
All
right, ladies.
It's cheaper to keep them.
You said it, not me, Tom.
.com.
Paul, do you think prenups are smart? If you don't have a lot of money?
Oh, yeah, I can answer that one.
No, but do you have to be rich and famous to have a prenup?
No,
and prenups are smart, but again, they don't supersede original agreement, and it's almost a separate issue to deal with. A prenup will not protect you against credit card default.
Lac.